Are you someone who struggles to wake up? And when you finally manage to wake up in the morning, you stay in bed for hours, scrolling through social media and porn, maybe even busting one in the morning before you've even left your bed. You have no energy or motivation towards your day, and even the simplest tasks are a massive struggle for you. You may relate to some of these, if not all of this, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through 5 bad habits that are ruining your mental health, and I want to see how many you can actually relate to, so stick to the end. You might be surprised on how many you can relate to. The first one, and that is pornography. Holy shit. Pornography and masturbation is so bad for you. It is one of the worst things that anyone can do, especially for guys. And I learned this the hard way, and I'm sure many of you have as well. Okay, think of it like this. You may have had a cat during your time with your family, or you've had friends who have had cats, and you know if you've had a little kitten and it's a guy, it's grown up and it's energetic, boisterous, very, very territorial, and this causes a problem for families because it causes a problem with other cats, causes a problem with neighbors, the cat being too territorial, adventurous and boisterous. And it's not really, a cuddling cat. It wants to go out. So what do? You castrate it. Essentially, you cut off its balls to get rid of its testosterone. And then after, the cat is lazy, unenergetic, docile, the perfect family cat. Masturbation and porn gets rid of your testosterone and is literally the same thing. You are literally castrating yourself. And for guys, you may have gone off, done the deed, and it's the first thing in the morning, and after, you just sit there and you say to yourself, fuck, what have I done? You feel so guilty. Why? There is a reason why. Also, not only this, but porn gives you a false understanding of what the real world is, because it is just acting. It's not real. You end up comparing yourself to the guys that you see on Pornhub and all those kind of platforms, and stop it. Don't do that, because that will mentally fuck you up. It's just acting, it's not real. That's like comparing yourself to Chris Hemsworth. And I don't think I look like Chris Hemsworth. Not only this, masturbation and porn gets rid of that sexual desire that you have in an instant, just like that, gone. And that sexual desire can be fueled into your productivity, into other things, such as your work, workouts. You could be way more productive, but you get rid of it as soon as you get that feeling. It decreases your testosterone. There's a scientist and physicist known as Andrew Huberman. I'll put his channel as a card. It'll come up in one of the corners. And he goes into much, much more detail about this. I highly recommend you go watch him. After this, of course. And if you don't believe anything that I say, just think about this. Watching porn makes you the creepy guy that watches sex but doesn't get any. After I thought about that, I kind of sat here and thought, yeah, it's a bit weird. It's a bit creepy, if I'm going to be honest. Number 2, and this is making choices based off emotion. I know this already sounds super like toxic masculinity. Look, just hear me out for a second, because for me, I'm sorry, I don't want to be the guy that thinks like this. I don't want to do a workout today. I don't feel like it. I don't want to get up out of my bed today. I don't feel like it. I'm sorry, but I have no respect for that kind of mentality of thinking. And if we all made decisions based off being too emotional and doing things that we only wanted to feel like, we would all be in bed, lazy and depressed. Because what we're clearly doing now already is not working. Because are you happy? Are you really happy in your everyday out life right now? Probably not. But this doesn't mean you need to go off and bottle up all your emotions. You don't have to achieve this by bottling up your emotions, because that is also just not healthy. There is one person that you can talk to, that you can confide in, that you can be emotional towards. And that is your chosen brother. Someone that you absolutely trust. Someone if some person came up to you and just punched you in the face, that he would stick there and fight with you, knowing that he could probably get really badly hurt. And he's not the guy that would run off. This is someone you can absolutely trust. The person you can be emotional to. the person that you can cry to without there being any consequences. And this is what I mean by consequences, because what I'm about to say is going to sound really fucked up. And when I found about this too, when I was researching, it kind of messed with my head. 80% of girls, of women, find men less attractive after they've seen them cry. I know, it sounds so messed up, and a lot of people won't want to admit this, but I have had conversations with exes that have completely agreed with this statement, and they said, yes, it is 100% true. Number 3, being a victim. Well, complaining all the time. It is so easy to believe that the world is against you, that I'm a victim. I'm a victim of society and the world. It's so easy to believe that. But you don't want an easy life. If you're here watching this video, chances are that you do not want to live an easy life. If you want to live an easy life, just go on TikTok and go off and have an unfulfilling, sad life. That's what you can do to go have an easy life. It's very, very easy to do that. Honestly, changing this victim mentality was one of the best changes that I'd ever made personally, from what I've seen from myself and from peers that have done this too. Because the sad truth is, honestly, no one cares if you're a victim. Everyone in this world is so focused on themselves. Do you really believe that out of 8 billion people, all of them are really focusing on you being a victim? No, they're not. They're focused on themselves. So choosing to believe that you are a victim leaves you in such a sad, depressing, negative state of mind. So why choose that? And this leads on perfectly to the next point that I'm going to make, which is number 4, negative thinking. Your mind is such a powerful force. It can literally change the way that you think, can literally change how you act and how you feel and what you do in the physical world in literally just a matter of instants. Having negative thoughts, listening to depressing music can fuck you up mentally. This is going to sound really weird, but like for me, there have been times where I was super, super happy, in such a good mood, listening to just really good music, and then I start listening to sad music, and then all of a sudden I start thinking and playing myself as the victim in my head, thinking negative thoughts, daydreaming, and suddenly after a few minutes, I feel so sad and depressed, and I just feel terrible and having bad thoughts in my head, literally just from listening to sad music and just thinking different. It's changed how I was in the matter of instants, and I found a way that can help with this, and it's something that I have learned from meditation, and that is, thoughts are not a definition of you. Thoughts are literally just like a cloud that passes through and then goes away. Even when I had some super, super dark thoughts, I'm not going to go into detail, but like some really dark negative thinking, this helped, just viewing it as like clouds that are just passing through. Think of it like this. You are the person that hears the thoughts. You are not the thought itself. Just observe the clouds. Accept that this right now is currently not a very good time of my life. The clouds are kind of dark, but that's fine because they will pass and go, and I will get to a better point in my life. And to be honest, I think thoughts are a good reflection of where you are in your life. Because chances are, if you are not in a good place, you're working a 9 to 5, you're really, really sad, depressed, you have nowhere where your life is going, you're probably going to have a bit more negative thoughts than the guy probably putting in more effort, hard work to change his life and do something with his life. He's probably going to have a little bit better thoughts than you. And number 5, the last one, indecisiveness. There is something known as decision fatigue, and I didn't know about this, but being indecisive is fatiguing. It is tiring and stressful. For example, I was in a relationship where I wanted to break up with her, but I was indecisive and I didn't, because I didn't want to go through the whole breakup feeling. So I carried on that relationship for months, up to a year. A year of indecisiveness, decision fatigue, tiredness, and stress. This is going to definitely affect your mental health. Indecisiveness can literally kill progress. And the best thing that I've found to do is literally Just write it all down. I'm a huge fan of gratitude journaling in the morning and in the evening, but literally the best thing that you can do when your mind is being indecisive, it's all muddled up in your head, just write it all down. It helps. When it is all up in your head, there is so much that your mind is thinking about, and it all gets muddled up, and it confuses you, and it clouds your mind. So the best thing to do is when you write this all down, it literally clears your mind. It helps you think more clearly and gets rid of that indecisiveness and that decision fatigue. This isn't really typical stuff that I've told you, not like, whoa, just eat healthy, go to the gym, which obviously, yeah, that will help with your mental depression. It will help you get better. But this is some other things that are behind the scenes that you don't really think about that also have an effect on your life. Hopefully this has helped you out. Any of those on self-improvement, you 100% got this. Stay consistent and do the best you can. Love you, bro. Blah.